Welcome back to the Jacob McLaughlin podcast and radio show. Coming to you guys on a sunny, hot Saturday here in Scottsdale, Arizona. If you guys are watching on YouTube or Instagram, you guys can see I'm here at work with the nice little painting in the background, actually sitting at Monica's desk. So Monica, sorry if you see this. It's just, your chair is so much more comfier than mine. But if you guys are tuning in on the podcast, thank you so much for taking the time to just check it out and just listen to me kind of ramble on today. I really appreciate you guys always coming on. If you guys haven't, I always just want to give you a reminder that I have a website, jacobmclaughlinfitness.com, that you guys can go check out. Kind of explains more what I do, and also gives you the opportunity, if you're ever interested in any online coaching, that you guys can jump in on. Also, you guys can check out my Instagram, which is just my Jacob McLaughlin Fitness, where I post daily workouts, or pretty much daily workouts, or anything fitness related. Answer your guys' questions on there. And then also, you guys can always just check out my YouTube as well, Jacob McLaughlin Fitness, because I'm just always trying to put out more good stuff for you guys. I got almost about 400 videos up there right now, and I'm getting ready to add more of just exercises, nutrition tips, of going over how to properly foam roll, and all those different things where I kind of talk through. And again, it's 100% free that you guys can go check out. So before we hop into the podcast, I just wanted to get that off, just so you guys can look at that. I hope you guys are having a great week. But today we're going over a topic that's going to everybody needs to hear it. And it's going to be why you should stop caring what other people think. And this is such a big topic in today, because everybody deals with it. We always are worrying about what other people are going to say about us, what they're thinking about us. They actually dictate a lot of the things and the reasons we do something. Is a lot of times that can be what we think, and it could be just friends, family, co-workers who we're seeing every single day, and then also it could go beyond that, just people that's out in the community that but we let them dictate our lives. And so I just say that because I've come from a small town, and I came from a small town of like 2,000 people, where everybody knew everybody's business. Like, I had a car, I thought I was super cool. I had a 2002 Monte Carlo, all black, the coolest of all cars, and I put a giant, I think it was like 45 inches by like 28 inches, Nike Just Do It sign on my or sticker on my car on the back mirror. And so I thought it was, or windshield, and I thought it was like the coolest thing ever. And then I realized everybody knows who I am, everybody knows where I'm at, and I can't say that wasn't me because they saw my car. But I laugh about that because it made you start to think, because everybody already knew stuff. Like, there would be people, I would get pulled over for maybe like I was speeding or something. One time I got pulled over, and I got back to my car from the police car, and I had 4 text messages from people listening to the police scanner. So it's like everybody's listening to your business. So again, I bring that up because people are always watching it, and we let that dictate our lives. That dictates our happiness a lot of times. Maybe it's you didn't go to college because your parents didn't want you, or maybe you went to college because your parents wanted to, but you truly didn't want to. And it can have a huge, huge impact on your whole life and what you're going to do and what you're going to say, what you're going to be. So I just want to share with you guys this quote that I found. If you guys are watching, I'm just looking at my show notes, but I just wanted to share with you guys. It's by Meryl Streep, and it was just her quote: the minute you start caring about what other people think is the minute you stop being yourself. And I can't just tell you guys how true that is, because just think about a time when you guys were about to do something, and then you stopped because you thought, what would my mom say? What would my dad say? And I'm not saying this is all bad. Maybe that saved you from doing something really stupid, which is always good. But I mean, just in life, a lot of times we won't do things. We won't do activities. We won't put ourselves into things that we think are fun because my friends might say that's stupid. Or, maybe my spouse would say that's not a good idea, So we dictate our lives, and we actually dictate our happiness based on other people. So I just kind of wanted to go over why you guys really need to stop caring about what other people think. Again, I think it is good to have a little bit of care of I don't want to come off rude, I don't want to come off ignorant to these people, I don't want to be offended or be offensive to some people. But the biggest thing is you just got to be who you truly are, because if you're never who you truly are, you won't ever be happy. So that's where you'll see these people trapped because they feel like they have to put on this show. But it's not who they are, and now they hate themselves. And I just be honest, I see it here every day. You know, I live here in Scottsdale, so I see people that are putting on this front, trying to drive expensive cars, trying to live in the expensive houses, when they really don't even like that. But they're putting on this front because their friends, their other people that they see, that's what it is out here, and they actually just hate it, and they hate their lives. And so it's really sad when I see that, because, you know, life's a simple thing, you know, just do what makes you happy, spend time with people you enjoy, like Jeremy always says, and life can be pretty simple. So, but I just want to start off why it's important not to care what other people think. And so number one, I'm going to just start off with, you're different. You're different you have different goals, you have different interests, and you have different hobbies. And so I hear this all the time between like siblings. They'll be like, oh, well, my brother likes this, or my sister does that. And so I feel like I have to do it. And I hear that all the time, that I have to. But it's not you. You know, like me and my brother, I love him to death, but we're totally different dudes. Like he loves concrete and hates working out. And I hate concrete, and I love working out. You know, like we're two totally different people. And if I ever try to do what my brother wanted me to do, I would hate my life. And vice versa. If I ever tried to make him do what I wanted to do, he'd hate his life, you know? So it's just, you gotta find who you are, what makes you happy, and not let your other people dictate where that's gonna take you. The many times I hear it's the parents, you know, like as younger guys and younger girls, you know, coming from like, I'm 24, so people can kind of relate. I hear more of the parents side of it, where it's like, oh, my parents wanted me to be a doctor, my parents wanted me to go to college, my parents wanted me to do this, and they feel like they're in prison, like they have to do it because their mom and dad, they want to make them proud, which you're going to make them proud no matter what, as long as you're doing good things. But I hear it all the time where they're like, oh, I feel like I'm indebted, or I have to do this if I want to make them happy. But that's not the truth at all. Like, because what's it cost? Because what actually happens is if you do stuff that you think your parents want you to do, but you don't want to do it, then you end up doing it. Well, what happens is you end up resenting your parents because you're now doing something you hate, but you did it because they wanted you to do it. And now you're mad at them for making you do something that you didn't want to do. Like, it's kind of like a crazy cycle that we get into, but it's the truth. And so I just want you guys to really kind of dissect it and think about, who are you? What makes you happy? What makes you tick? What's your hobbies? What's your goals? What do you want to do with your life? And not worry about what other people are going to say to you about it. Because again, you're different. I'm different than the person that walks in here. I'm different from my brother, my sister, my mom. Just because they wanted me to do something doesn't mean that's what I needed to do, you know, like that's why I'm kind of living this different life. And people will kind of message me and they'll be like, oh man, you're killing it, you're having fun, I see you grinding, it seems like you're so happy. And it was like, well, yeah, because I'm doing what I want. I know what makes me happy, you know, like people I hear all the time, and I'll just go off on a little tangent real quick, is like, I hear all the time, I'm 24, so I need to be going out to the clubs and getting wasted and just bringing home random women, and I need to be doing that live day in and day out because I'm young and I have the opportunity to. But I look at them and I'm like, well, maybe for you, but that's not going to do it for me. Like, that's not fun to me anymore, you know? Like, in college, everybody has their fun, everybody has that stint, but like, now that I'm actually working, I have goals, I have big dreams that I want to achieve. Like, that's not who I am. So now, like, when I first moved out here, I was like, oh, I need to do it. I need to do it because these people are telling me. And I'll tell you what, I go downtown and I'm like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever been. Like, all these people are wasted. You can't have a conversation. And I just found out I hate that. I hate that scene. So I just know what works for me and what doesn't work for me. And so you just have to kind of, it's a balancing act. So I just wanted to put that out there, that you guys, you know, understand that you're different, and understand that you guys have values that are great to you, but somebody else isn't going to think they're great, you know? So it's just knowing who you are, what makes you tick, what makes you happy, what you actually like and what you don't like. And I think that's more importantly, what you don't like, because we a lot of times will do things that we absolutely hate just because we want to do it with our friends or we want to do it with other people, but we end up having a horrible experience because we already knew we were going to hate it, but we thought it would be different if we went with some friends. So that's number one for me. I think you're different, and I think you need to understand that you're not going to like what other people would do, and vice versa. So you just need to know that for when you're not caring about what other people do. Just do what makes you happy. Oh, what am I saying? Number two, we're gonna go with number two. Why you need to stop caring what other people think about you is people are worrying about themselves, not you. So that's the one I wrote down because I think it hits home the most. Every time I talk to somebody, it's like, oh, well, my mom will say, or oh, Johnny will say from the town. You know, like I just use my mom as an example. Like when I was in 5th grade. I always just remember it. I wanted to play basketball on 2 teams. It was both teams to play in a tournament. And I was allowed to, but my mom didn't let me because she was worried what the other parents would say if I got to play on the upper level team. And that just always stuck out to me. And it was like she was always worried about what other people were going to say in the town about us, about our family, about what we were doing when we weren't doing anything wrong. But it was something that always bothered her. And so I look back at that now and I just think about, 99% of the people that you worry about don't give a crap about you. And I don't say that to be mean, but it's like just being honest. When you woke up this morning, did you wake up worrying about your cousin's hair? No, you woke up worrying about your hair, what you look like, what you're doing, what your problems are for the day, what your agenda is. And that's what it is. Like, I say this because I'm not trying to say that people are selfish, but they are. Like, we're going to worry about ourselves first before we care about what anybody else says. So I just always say that, understanding that you guys don't need to worry about what other people are going to say about you, because to be honest, 99% of the time they're not worried about you, even though you think they are. They're worried about what they look like, what they're going through, what their problems are, what their agenda is, and what they have going on in their lives, not so much yours. Now again, there will be some people who are just Debbie Downers and want to bring you down, but most of the time, 99% of the time, we worry about what other people are thinking when those people aren't even close to thinking about you. They're thinking about themselves. So that's just a quick little tangent on number 2. Number 3, no do-overs in life. Do what you want, because you don't want to have regrets. You don't want to have regrets because of what other people might say. And so I just bring that up into my own life. I didn't move out to Phoenix before I did because I was worried about what would people say if I came out here and if I failed, and that was a big thing for me. But I was always worrying about what would these people say about me. What would the people from my town say about me? What would the people I was friends with or high school, what would they say about me? And that was honestly that moment of who cares, right? Because I heard a quote by Gary Vee, and it was like the saddest thing you can ever see in a man's eyes is regret. And he's like, go to a nursing home and talk to somebody who has regret, and it'll make you never do something that you didn't, or that you thought you might want to do or might not want to do ever again. You'll do it because you don't want to see that pain and regret. So I always just bring that up, do what you guys love and don't worry about what other people are going to say about it, because you don't want to look back in your life 20 years from now and be like, man, I wish I would have done this, but you didn't because you were worried about what Johnny down the street was going to say about you. So again, it's about making your life what you want, about making it how happy you want to be. And I'm just going to say, I know it's hard. I know it's hard to not care what other people think. And I'm a little more blessed, a little more thick-skinned. Like, when I have people talk bad about me, yeah, it still kind of bugs me, but what can I do about it? I'm not going to be able to change their mind. Nobody's ever going to change their mind by a debate or fighting about it. So it's just controlling what you control, but honestly do what makes you happy. And then just going into that last part, some people aren't going to be happy no matter what you do. There's going to always be those people that bring you down. We call them crabs, You don't even have to put a lid on a crab. I got this from Coach Ramsey from the Sacramento Kings. We were at a conference this last week, but he's like, crabs, you don't even have to put a top on the bucket because they're always going to be grabbing at you and pulling each other down. And that's huge. We have a lot of people in our own lives like that. And so when you kind of look around at it and you just are like, no matter what I do, there's going to be people that, I hear it all the time. You're too energetic. You're too happy. I'm sorry. I can't help that. That's who I am. So no matter what you do, you're always going to have friction that comes with it. You're always going to have a negative side that comes with it as well. So I just want you guys to understand that no matter what, you could be the best person in the world. You could do nothing wrong to anybody, and you'll still have people hate you because they're just negative in their own self. And I just want you to have a little remembering points that I just put in 2 points just to remember, just to think about. The negative comments someone makes to you is never about you. It's about them. So we just use this on Instagram. I see it all the time. People will go talk crap on the men's health pages or on the fitness pages or anybody's Instagram page. Facebook, we see them, the trolls. But a lot of times you'll see these people just talk horrible things and say horrible things. And you actually have to look. You could get offended, but it's not going to do. You have to honestly look and say, that person's in such a bad state that they have to go onto other people's pages, take the time out of their day to try to bring people down so they can feel better about themselves. And it's a really sad thing to see, but it's really what happens in a lot of the world today. When people are being negative to you, when they're like that, when I'm like, oh, I'm too happy, people are like, oh, you're too happy, you need to knock it off. They're just so mad at their life. They're so unhappy, and it's so sad to see. but they're going to try to bring someone else's happiness down. So you just can't allow that to happen. You just have to understand, no matter if you're the greatest person in the world, you're going to get friction, and that just comes with it. And to be honest, when you start to get that friction, it means you're doing something right, because it means you're starting to make an impact on people. And some people don't want to change, they don't want to see improvement, and that's just the life they're going to live. But you don't want that for your own life, so you make the change. And then my last one is the number 2 for just remembering is just remove the sources of negativity immediately. Like, we all have people in our lives, even myself, and like, it's been tough. It's been tough to cut out some of the people that are the closest in my life that I thought were going to be there forever. But they did nothing but bring me down. They did nothing but take away from my dream, pull me away from what I wanted. And every time I had something good and they would want to hear about it, I'd tell them. And then they were like, oh, get off your high horse, or knock this off, or you think you're better than everyone else. And I was like, I was never sharing to brag. It was just to give you a life update. So sometimes you just have to take that source of negativity out, because it's only going to bring you down. And what happens is, if you keep that negativity, you'll call them or you'll talk to them and they'll say something, and then it won't get out of your head. There'll be a nagging comment that they just said to you that you'll just replay and think about scenarios, and it'll bug you for the rest of the day to the rest of the week, instead of you could have just spent your time worrying about other things. So I always just say that make sure you guys get that negativity out of your circle. It can be hard. A lot of times it's our closest people, because I'll just be honest, when you're starting to change, when you're starting to go after your dreams, your goals, and what you want to do, people don't like that. People don't like change. People want to stay where they're at. And when they see people changing that are the closest to them, they get frustrated, they get scared, because they know things aren't staying the same. And so there'll be those crabs. They'll start to try to bring you down. They'll try to make you not want to be where you want to be. So I just say that because a lot of times, what I've experienced in my own life, a lot of times it could be your closest friends, it could be your family members, it could be your coworkers that you thought were like really close to you. But sometimes it's just like you have to cut them out. And that just goes on everything. It's not just family members, it's not just friends or family. It's also what you're watching, what you're listening to music. You know, there's a lot of crap out there that doesn't do any good. It just brings us down. It's negative stuff. Like, I don't watch the news, because why? I want to hear about all the negative stuff going on in the world. Like, I'm still going to survive. I'm still doing my stuff. I think it's important to know what's going on, but I'm not going to watch the news and get brought down about all the negativity going on. So again, just cutting out negative sources in your life is just going to be the biggest thing for helping you get on to where you want to be in life. So you guys, I really hope this helped. You know, no matter what you do, as long as you guys are happy and you can rest your head on the pillow at the end of the day and be like, you know, I gave it what I had. I'm happy with my life, my effort, what I've done, and where I'm at, then that's all that matters. But to continue to go through this and not be happy with your life, and to continue to go through life and go through all this struggle because of what other people might think or might say, and just being honest, 99% of that stuff never even comes up, or they never even think it or say it. You just make it up in your own head. Like, you'll start being so much happier. You'll start living such a better life. So I just want you guys to just kind of take these notes, kind of think about it, and just kind of start putting it in your own life. Get the negativity out of your life. Stop caring what other people are thinking, are saying, or what they're not, and you just think they are. And just start living the life to the fullest of what you want to live. Live the dream life you want. Live to do things that make you happy, that you find enjoyable, and that you would see yourself doing over and over. So I hope you guys really enjoy this podcast. I really appreciate you guys, again, sitting on here and listening to me, watching me, wherever you guys are at. And I just appreciate your guys' support. So I will see you guys next time, or listen to you guys, or talk to you guys next time. Just make sure you guys are doing things you love with people you enjoy, because your life is too short not to. And I just really appreciate you guys tuning in. Have a great week. And remember, do what makes you happy, and don't care what other people think. I'll see you guys later. Peace.